There was this day where I'd had enough. And I was like, enough's enough. And it's like I tried, to end my life a few ways. And, I did some research online and I was like, all right, well, this amount of this stuff will do the trick. And I was like, well, even at that point, I needed someone's permission in a way. And the way I was going to get someone's permission was that if I go into a bank and I have this check, normally I would do like ATM deposit, Dropbox, anything other than hand it to a person, because in the porn industry, when you got paid, on the memo of the check, they would write either the title of the movie, or sometimes they would just write something grotesque to be antagonistic, to demean you, to just like constantly just chipping away at your dignity. So the last thing you wanted to do normally was go into a bank and hand it to a person and look them in the eye and them know clearly what I was being compensated for. But on this day, that's exactly what I wanted, because I needed to go in the bank. I needed to slide the check across the counter. I needed her to look at me and say, maybe with her eyes, maybe with a shake of her head, or in best case scenario with her mouth, saying, you're as disgusting as you think you are. You're as worthless as you believe you are. Something. But I just needed just a smirk, something. And she gave me nothing. She was completely unfazed. She handed me the receipt, and I started to cry because I didn't know what to do. My plan did not go as planned, and I was just kind of frozen. And it's kind of the middle of the day, and I was on the corner of Sepulveda and Ventura, and across from this Sherman Oaks Galleria, or Cheesecake Factory, and 24 Hour Fitness is, and there was a bank on the corner of that, right, and there was a Whole Foods right behind it. But I was in this bank, and I didn't get what I wanted, which was someone agreeing with me, so that I would, that I would essentially use that as, emotional ammunition to carry this act out. And I was just paralyzed. I didn't know what to do. And surprisingly, she comes around the corner and puts her hand on my shoulder and says, Joshua, how can I help you? Joshua, can I get you some help? And what she didn't know, and what I believe that the Holy Spirit worked through her in a way, that was the first time I'd heard my real name in over a year, because there was only Rocco Reed, because Joshua was getting phone calls from his mom saying, I raised you better than this. Joshua was getting phone calls from that fraternity brother that taught me to tie a tie. He's like, dude, what are you doing with your life? There was an HIV outbreak and people are dying. What are you doing? Like, maybe I said something that made you believe I thought it was cool at some point, but man, it's been 6 years. What are you doing? And that's just the way accountability works. Either, man, you're right, thank you, I need to change. Or I distance myself from you, because it was really a belief that I couldn't change. My story was already written. And I just allowed the fact that, I was on set all the time, and I was really well known by that name. And I just allowed it to happen over time. And I distanced myself from everyone that truly knew me. So if you weren't patting me on the back, I distanced you from my life. My mom never stopped calling. She never stopped texting. I just didn't have the guts to answer, because what I was going to say. And Satan made me believe that I disqualified myself from being her son. But really, I was too prideful to believe I could change.